too long, and your mom and dad are right there, and so now you're like, well, they know I know about this now because we're all sitting here together. I better act surprised.
Last week we're watching Bad Moms. You guys familiar with the movie Bad Moms? It's funny. Mia Kunis is in it, and some other Christina Applegate is in it. And basically, it's these moms who find the pressure of being perfect moms, PTA attending, bake sale, cooking, whatever. And she's like, let's just be bad moms. And they drop some of the mom responsibilities, etc. Anyway, to me, I thought the movie was going to be funny, and I knew it'd be a little bit edgy because they drink and throw a party and stuff. And I'm like, all right, but this is cool. I'm watching it with my kids. Dude, like, opening scene, the husband is masturbating to what they think is porn. And Mia Kunis is like, this is funny. This is funny. I never caught you before. Ooh, she's got a big bush on her. And you see, like, the woman's got a big bush, like my head of hair on her snatch. And then it turns out the woman's live, and he's, like, cheating on her. And I'm like, this is, like... My son's 13, I didn't know that we were going to watch Cooch together, but there we were.
Cute movie, yeah.
So you are that parent who makes the mistake. Okay, because I've always done this from the other side. I've always been the kid who was in a room with an adult who didn't preview the movie beforehand. But you are that adult.
You know what? I'm the adult.
Imagine inside Hope's brain. There's just she's just cutting herself to make this stop. Just anything in her head to not do this.
So when I would watch a show, I could watch a show that was 99.9% clean and reasonable and something you'd expect me to be watching. But the one time there's boobs on camera, your parents walk into the room. I do that to Hope now. It's like the situation has reversed. But unlike my parents who would just pretend they don't see it or walk through, I'd be like, Hope, what are you watching exactly? And she's like, I swear, this is not representative of the show that I'm seeing as a whole. This sex scene or whatever.
And then, of course, as soon as she says that, it turns out that's when the public bathhouse montage starts in the movie, because that's how it always goes with the parents.
Yeah, it's.
Well, you just happen to come right in at the bukkake scene. Don't judge this. Don't judge the whole art film as a whole because of this one bukkake scene.
Bukkake's kind of in its own league. Anyway, you have to time your finish very carefully with bukkake, because if you finish in the middle of a bukkake video, it just becomes kind of upsetting. Where you're like, oh my god, I can see in her eyes, the fact she doesn't have a father. She's really struggling in life trying to.
Oh, she has one. If he hadn't been around to touch her, she wouldn't be buried up to her neck in sand with 18 guys surrounding her right now.
Maybe not. It's just it's one of those genres that very quickly you realize the gross. Like if you finish while watching lesbian porn or something. That after effect, you're like, okay, this is two humans doing it. There's nothing crazy going on. There's no animals involved. There's no not too much fluid, But then other genres like bukkake, you finish in the middle of that and you're ready to turn it off. You have to watch for another 30 seconds just to be like, what kind of person are you?
The lesbian porn I watch has more fluid than any other porn. They're always just squirting these huge squirts into each other's mouths and gargling and then spitting it back into the. Well, there's some pee in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've done so much research.
I have too. It comes from the urethra. It goes from the bladder to the urethra.
Yeah.
I hear you, but science has not yet found some alternative delivery method in women for there to be a fluid that's not pee.
No, there is. So there's look. I'm on your side that it's mostly pee, but there's also some kind of gland in there. I can't recall the name of it. That's excreting some other substance. But yeah, it's mostly pee. I've only had one girl ever do that, and I was okay with it. But I wouldn't want that on a regular basis.
You just
I feel
have
like
that she takes hydration seriously.
All right, let's get the rubber sheets out again.
Yeah, you can't be doing that with a bender kind of too crazy girl who just pees her super dehydrated apple juice piss all over the place. Oh, you need to have a healthy, fit girl to do that.
No, but they're rubbing one out, and then this geyser of fucking squirt into the other one's mouth, and she acts like she's happy, like she's just been given a delicious treat. She's like, yeah, here it comes, and she's gargling it.
Yeah, they gotta understand. It freaks you out a little bit. They gotta understand you're not just gonna, it's like a fucking golf course sprinkler going off in your bed.
I got no warning. I got no warning in my instance, but she claimed it was the first time that had ever happened. But it was a rented bed
Just
anyway.
a chronic bedwetter. I'm too embarrassed to admit it.
It's pee. Like I'm on the Wikipedia site.
What percentage of it is pee?
100. It is. It's called. They're calling it like spontaneous incontinence.
That sounds sexy.
Yeah.
You know what? There are people who think it is. There are guys who are like, you know what? Like if you just get past the pee thing, that if you can make a girl lose control of her, incontinent, like it's just totally lose it and pee, then you've done a thing. And if that's your thing, then knock yourself out.
If I can make my partner behave like elderly people and scared animals, I'll know I'm doing my job. Pissing all over the place. That's
all right. So here we go. So does this mean that the liquid squirted during sex is urine? The team had already confirmed that it was coming from the bladder, so it's a good bet.
Team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is a real
Crack
study.
team.
They compared the samples that had been bagged during climax to urine samples collected at the beginning of the study and found that in 2 of the 7 women, the samples were both chemically identical.
Whoa.
In the remaining 5 women, the samples were slightly different. The team found an enzyme called protastic-specific antigen, PSA, that was present in small amounts in these volunteers' ejaculated urine. PSA, produced in men by the prostate gland, is more commonly associated with male ejaculate, says Thompson at New Scientist, where its presence helps sperm to swim. And female, says Salama, the PSA is produced mainly by the skein glands. So there is a little something else in there, but it's being carried along by a whole lot of piss.
Right.
Yeah, I saw something about the skein gland too.
Well, I'm glad we were on the topic of drinking women's bodily liquids because Woody has a website to share with us, don't you, Woody?
Yes.
I like to give credit where credit is due. You were the first one to put this forward as a topic, although I have a bit of a twist that I've added.
All right.
Let's link it again so Anthony can visit onlythebreast.com.
Onlythebreast.com. So, there's a website here where you can get women's breast milk.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, we did that joke forever where like I was going to have like a titty milk company, and a lot of you really bought into that, and shame on you. You should...
You're silly
not let people get one over on you quite so easily. Just think twice next time. You're going to end up in a pyramid scheme or sending your wedding ring to some Nigerian prince at this rate. Just wake up.
I just sell all the berries, and then the guy below me sells all his berries, and then before you know it, my downline is gigantic. 3 billion people after the level 20. Yeah.
These people are actually in the business of selling human breast milk, and it's for your baby, right? There's plenty of circumstances where you would want to buy someone else's breast milk, and not only is it breast milk, it's good breast milk. As Woody explained, there's pictures of women holding their fat babies, being like, look, it really plumped him up, like, it really made this baby fat and delicious.
Those are stage babies. Everybody in the industry knows that.
That's actually one of my biggest reservations about drinking this breast milk because they advertise with look how fat this kid got, and I'm like, oh man, I'm totally not your demo. I don't want to be that fat. That kid's ridiculous. He looks like a little Buddha.
He's eating nothing but that though. He is on a 100% titty milk diet. It's not like he had a salad the day before yesterday and then he
that's like a 6-month-old having to take Crestor.
Yeah.
It's just